welcome or welcome back to our channel. Hey, if you are new here and you want to give your children a positive parenting on how to model the right living and priorities, if you want to build a strong bond with your children and also affirm your children's significance and security, if you want to teach the importance of obedience and use discipline lovely and effectively, you are at the right place. Turn on by subscribing, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out. My name is Chika, the founder of Blossom Kids Build. I'm a teacher, I'm a blogger, I'm a prolific author, I'm a trainer and entrepreneur. I'm bringing you insight to issues in creative education and parenting. I'm extremely passionate about children, about parenting, school system, about training institutes and educational threads. I inspire to make education better and more enjoyable for all children, regardless of their background, the circumstances. I do that by supporting the parents and the educators that are engaged in their learning and development. And also, I enable hundreds of educators and parents to embed creative approach to teaching and learning that helps young children to achieve an outstanding results across the whole curriculum and also to fulfill their incredible potentials. You may have a vision of your perfect classroom, but what do teachers actually do to have it as a reality? This is a common question. Generations of teachers have looked for ways to ensure an ideal learning environment. But in this video, you will find a time-tested ideas, because you have to keep in mind that not every idea will work in all situations. Teachers need to be flexible and have a variety of tools to suit the contents in which they find themselves. So the key idea I will be sharing with you in this video are the three characteristics of an effective teacher. The ideas are essential to support students' learning. So one of the characteristics is that effective teachers have a positive expectations for student success. And also the second characteristic is that an effective teacher are good classroom managers. And also the third one is that effective teachers know how to provide good instruction. So we are going to take these characteristics one at a time. I'm going to be showing you the strategies you can use to develop these three key skills as a teacher, because it's a key skills a teacher needs to develop. You need to have this positive expectations for your students, and also you need to be a good classroom manager and also provide a good instruction. So with these three key skills of an effective teacher, I believe that you're going to have you're going to maximize learning for your children. They're going to support their learning. So make sure you watch this video to the end. Let's start with the first characteristics of an effective teacher. This is what a skill you need to develop as a teacher. You need to have a positive expectations of student success. That is a major key skill you need to develop. Students tend to live up to the expectations teachers set for them. That is it. So set your expectation realistically high and also consistently communicate positive expectations during your instruction, and your students will rise to meet those expectations. Okay, be positive with your students. Let them know you believe in them and that they can do it. Encourage and praise students' attempts. For example, you got the first part right. Keep trying. You will get it. These are positive words we need to use for our students. We need to be positive with their sources. Let them know that you believe in them. Let them see it. Encourage and praise their attempts. So look for opportunity to communicate positive expectations to your students. Meet them at the classroom door with a smile and greeting that says, "I'm glad you are here today to learn." This will encourage them, and this will also build their self-confidence and motivate them. It's a very good way to motivate a child to have this positive approach to learning. When you meet a child at the door, at the classroom door with a smile, by the time you smile with them, you greet them. I'm glad you are here today to learn. They will have this enthusiastic, this positive approach to learning. You need to set challenging but achievable learning objective that allows adequate time for students to accomplish the objective. You need to set that challenging, achievable learning objective so that they can be able to accomplish those objectives that you have set for them. Also, you need to acknowledge past learning achievements and predict the future success. Yesterday, for example, yesterday you can tell your students, yesterday we learned adjectives to describe physical characteristics. Now we are ready to brainstorm adjectives to describe someone's personality. So these are the things you address to your children. You need to acknowledge their past learning, and also you predict the future sources. So you need to provide them with an hint, assist them. For example, remember the formula for the area of a rectangle is a hint. You are assisting them with a hint. How it might relate to the formula for the area of a triangle. So you need to do what? Remember, you need to provide this hint, this assist, this prompt to them. Also, you need to follow up questions that make students to think. Follow up questions that can make them to think. Let's, for example, this is an interesting position. What thought process led you to it? So it's a positive question that will make them to learn, to think. So you need to also give a lower achieving and also a higher achieving, and girls as well as boy need to give them equal attention and structure learning activities to ensure their success. So prepare core activities for everyone and extension activities for those who finish first. One option: ask students who finish quickly to assist their peers who may have questions. So follow up on work that you assign to students. When teachers assign work and do not follow it up, students begin to lose motivation. So teachers, demonstrating your positive expectations of student success, it motivates them, it helps them to build this teacher student relationship. So your expectation become a self-fulfilling prophecy. By the time you demonstrate these positive expectations of student success. It motivates them. It helps them to ensure their cooperation and also to build these positive student-teacher relationships. So your expectations will be fulfilled. Yes, so let me share my strategy that I use in my classroom review. The STAR strategy. Yes, I call it the STAR strategy. At the end of each lesson, I recognize at least one student for something, maybe something he or she did that deserves recognition. I don't ignore that. I make sure that each lesson I recognize at least one student that did something that deserves to be recognized. So I have a star-shaped piece of paper that I pin to a bulletin board. So I write the student's name, the date, and what he or she did. So once a student has 3 stars, he or she can choose a prize. I give them a prize. So if maybe I forget to give the star to my students, they will call me back. They will call me Miss Chika the star. So this will motivate them. This encourages them. So I also use another strategy I use is my sticker corner. When I recognize a student that does something, I award stickers to them. So by the time maybe the term is over, I give them prizes according to the highest number of stickers each student have. So I believe this strategy will help to encourage their learning, to maximize their learning. It's a very good positive way to maximize your students' learning. All right, the second characteristics of a good teacher, the second skills a good teacher needs to develop, need to build, is to support the student learning, is classroom management skills. Classroom management skill. When we talk of classroom management, what do we refer to? It refers to teacher behaviors that facilitate learning. What are those teachers' behavior that facilitate learning? This is what we call classroom management. A well-behaved classroom increases learning because students spend more time on task. So in my next video, I'm going to be sharing with you the strategies for classroom management. If you are enjoying this video, please click on the subscribe button right now and subscribe, and also hit the notification bell so you won't know when next I'll be posting my video, because I'm going to be sharing with you the strategies for classroom management in my next video, and also many ideas. So following a few thoughts to jumpstart thinking about classroom management, let's just move and further to that. What does a well-managed classroom look like? That's a question for you. What does a well-managed classroom look like? Let me answer the question. A well-managed classroom, students are deeply involved with their work. The climate of the classroom is well-oriented but relaxed and pleasant. So how can you support student learning using this classroom management skills? You need to establish classroom rules and procedures during the first day of school, and consistently and fairly enforce them throughout the school year. Be consistent. That is the key. That is the number one key to manage your class. You need to first of all establish rules and procedures during the first day. Don't forget, during the first day of school. And consistently, you need to fairly enforce them throughout the school year and be consistent. You need to establish a positive professional relationship with students. I said professional, not just anyhow relationship with students. There should be a professional relationship between you and your students. The teacher is both in charge and cooperative. You are in charge, but you are cooperative. Also, you will never have enough techniques to get students to behave and learn if you do not first create positive relationships. That's the highest key you need to get. You will never have enough techniques to get students to behave and learn if you do not first of all create this positive relationship. No matter what kind of techniques you may use, if you did not create this positive relationship between you and your students, I don't think you're managing the class very well. You need to establish that professional relationship between you and your students. Then give understandable instructions so that students know exactly what they are expected to do. There are some teachers that don't give understandable instructions. Most of the students in their classroom, they don't really know what the teacher is expected of from them. So let me give you a cultural hint. Do not ask in your classroom, does everyone understand? In many cultures, students would not dare say no. All of them would shout, yes, auntie, we understood. But because that would indicate the teacher did not do his or her work well if they said no. That is it. So use non-verbal signals rather than words. Silent cues are less disruptive. So these are techniques that you need to give them understandable instructions so that they will understand, so that they will know exactly what they are expected to do. Another strategy is for you to delegate. Please delegate, delegate, delegate. Students learn skills and responsibilities while saving the teacher's time, but teach students how to accomplish the delegated task, or they can save your time instead of wasting the time. So delegate the responsibility and also teach them how to accomplish the task. So move around the classroom, move closer to problem spots in the classroom. These tactics tend to prevent and also to stop inappropriate behaviors. Don't just sit on your table or maybe stand in front of the board. Move around, move closer to the problem spot. That place that are having that problem, move around there. It's going to be a tactics, and also it's going to tend to prevent or to stop those inappropriate behaviors. Also have a backup plan. Very, very important. If the lesson is not going well or if it runs short, have a backup plan. Classroom management, it will not make your students to hate you. On the contrary, students will respect you more and be more enthusiastic about learning when they see you are serious about education. So don't be scared about classroom management. You'll be thinking that if you set rules, that student is going to hate you. No, students will even respect you more and more. So using sign language and non-verbal cues, it encourages the person to look at the speaker. Don't forget to always use that sign language. Okay, let me give you another of my strategy. As much as I want my students to take the content knowledge from my class, I also want to teach life skills like manners. For a student who has done something for me, um, maybe she helped me to turn off the light at the end of the day. I signed a thank you to that student during assembly. So I often catch the student's eye, or so that other students will wonder what's the sign for. So you need to pay attention. And also, there are some basic words that I use over and over. I created a sign and cues for this. So one of the sign, maybe one of the cues I use is maybe give me five. Many of my students, they are kinesthetic learners, so I use that a lot. Values are caught. They are caught, not taught. So teachers who are cautious, who are enthusiastic, who are in control, who are patient and organized, they provide example for their students through their actions. Let's take for example, if a class is getting too loud, don't shout to be heard. Speak at your normal volume so the class has to be quiet to hear you. The third characteristics to support student learning, the third skills a teacher needs to build, to develop to in order to support their student learning is instruction skills. Instruction is what most people think of as teaching. So in addition to content knowledge, teachers need the skills to design and also to deliver engaging lessons, and the skills to monitor learning progress. So let's say, for example, a straightforward, fact-based, a logical instructional approach is effective in training some teachers, while others prefer stories from which they can deduce information. But I can tell you that both instruction and learning are easier in a way managed classroom. They are easier in a way managed classroom whereby students are expected to succeed. So, but when the instruction fails, when it fails to actively involve students in their learning, they become restless, and classroom management becomes increasingly difficult. It becomes too difficult. So, guys, effective teachers understand students' level of knowledge and also design lesson to fit students' abilities. You need to understand your student level of knowledge and design the lesson to fit the student's ability. If you do not understand your students, you won't be able to design the lesson that can fit their ability. Let's say, for example, you need to understand the levels of different types of intelligence you have as in your learners, and also their learning styles. This will help you to design the lesson that fits the student's abilities. As well, you need to clearly state the learning objective of the lesson. Yes, when students are told the objective, they know what they are responsible of learning. They know what they are to learn. So you need to break the concept and skills into small digestible learning chunk so that all of them can digest, they can understand that. No more, maybe more than two or three ideas per lesson can help you do that. So you need to do what? You need to break the concept. You need to break it into smaller digestible learning chunks so that they can understand. Also, Structure lessons to so that students experience a variety of instruction method and to accommodate different learning styles and maintain students interest. So you need to change the type of activity during the lesson to help students concentrate more effectively on the task. Like I said before, you need to understand their learning style. The lesson need to accommodate their different learning styles. So you need to change the type of activity during the lesson to help your students to concentrate and also to do the work more effectively. So structure your lessons so that students experience a variety of instruction method. There are different instructional method you can use. Maybe in my next videos I'm going to be sharing with you different instructional method and techniques a teacher can use. So by the time you use those instructional method, it will accommodate different learning styles. Also pace instructions to allow students the time they need to achieve learning objectives. You need to pace the instruction to allow your students the time they need to update that learning objective you have set for them. Incorporate student interest into the lesson. Use examples from student daily life. You know, those things they do on a daily basis. Use them as an example to make the lesson relevant. Use visual, for example graphic, use organizer, use maps, use word wells, use drawings, use pictures. This one will help to support the visual learners. Also students may understand visual better than words. I think most students understand visual better than words. So especially when the teacher and the students have maybe different types of language. So you can use those pictures, those drawings, those graphics to help them in their learning. So use silent signal to give directions, such as maybe a finger on the leaves to mean don't speak, or maybe hand behind your ear mean listen. So you can create your own silent signal to give directions while the instruction is taking place. I always use your leaves, use your finger on your lips to mean don't speak, or maybe um your hand behind your ear, it means to listen. So these are what some silent signals we need to use to, to give them directions. Also you need to engage your students physically and mentally in the lesson. Yes, you need to be manipulative, use role play, use drama, use games, to use artwork as well to engage your students physically and also mentally. So you need to assess learning to determine if learning objective were achieved. I think this is very, very important. If not, you need to adjust instruction to enable your students to learn the concept or the skill. So if you don't assess your learning, you can't be able to determine if the student objective were if the learning objectives were achieved. So assess learning to determine if learning objectives were achieved, and if not, what do? You adjust the instruction to enable your students to learn the concept and the skill. So also you need to teach different learning modalities. Teach to different learning modalities: the auditory, the visual, the kinesthetic, the right brain, the left brain, the multiple intelligences, the learning styles. All this you need to teach to different learning modalities, so that will help your lesson to be more effective, and that will maximize your student learning process. So even with few teaching materials and obligations to teach specific contents, It is important to be creative and appeal to visual, the tactile, the auditory learners. Also remember that some students they learn well from each other in a more social way. Yes, they will need to work in pairs and groups. This is very, very important. So you need to remember that. Some of them they learn very well when they work with each other. So create that work in pair and also in group. So lesson planning, well developed lesson plan will help ensure effective instruction techniques, and it also maybe give you the techniques you can use to incorporate into your lessons. So lesson planning is very, very important. A well developed lesson plan, it will ensure an effective instruction and techniques are incorporated into your lessons. So regardless of teaching styles, traditions and cultures, all high quality teaching has a common goal, that is student learning. That is a common goal. Regardless of your teaching style, of the traditions and the cultures, a high quality teaching, it has just a common goal, and that is what? Student learning. So guys, let me summarize all those things I've been saying, things, and I believe that there's an understanding. Let me just summarize them. So far I've discussed the skill three skill sets teachers need to develop in order to support learning, students learning. These are what I've been discussing, the three key skills you teacher need to develop in order for you to support student learning. So when all these three skills as a set, when you present them, you provide a positive classroom environment for student success. Because if you don't use those three keys, you can't be able to provide that classroom environment for your students to succeed in their learning. And remember I said that effective teachers, they have positive expectation of their student success. And teachers that has excellent classroom management skills, and also effective teachers has good instruction skills. So by the time you sum them up, that will produce a positive learning environment. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this video has been of help to you. If it has, please give it a thumbs up, share to your friends, and please don't forget to subscribe and also hit the notification bell so you know when next I'll be bringing in a new content. Thank you and see you in my next video. Bye.